Love it. It's awesome. Excellent. Question prediction. Do you think season 3 is peaked with this one?
That's tough.
That's very tough.
I'm going to hope not. All right, these are the patron takes for The Vengeance Factor.
Another solid social commentary episode that ends in a somewhat questionable manner. The stun setting conveniently doesn't work on her, forcing Riker's hard choice, but an interesting take on the price of vengeance. Might be your least favorite this season so far. I agree with the end there,
Correct.
but she did say that she was, genetically modified or whatever, so her cells are different. It's not important.
I find it interesting from StevTrek here. I think this is the first take we're reading from them, and they kind of compliment the episode for the most part, except for that convenience. Like they say, solid social commentary episode, but then they just end it with "might be your least favorite so far." Like they don't really.
What are you saying?
Yeah, like they don't really go into why it'll be our least favorite, although they are ironically correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice. What makes Yuta think she can fulfill her mission with all those witnesses around? I like the computer extrapolating Yuta's face from the picture with her head being completely obscured behind someone. Very not realistic. Yuta's folly driven by years of brainwashing. It is clear Delulu is the Salulu. Yeah, I got to agree. I know this is centuries in the future, but try plugging that into like Photoshop, generative AI to make that face. You're not getting Yuta.
You're not getting
And
that.
it was like a perfect image.
Yeah, it's like, it was her. Wow.
So yeah, it's in the future. I mean, you couldn't. I'm talking like 2024 perspective of Photoshop generative AI. They didn't even know what Photoshop was. And probably it was 89. When did Photoshop get invented? I don't know.
Probably that year. I don't know.
But yeah, I definitely agree. Good take.
Overall, this episode isn't making anyone's top 20 list, but the ending scene is tense and among the most debated, discussed moments ever. Wow. Tackle her, transport her, stun her more, tell her to do the run, endless Reddit posts. I've been waiting us all to arrive here so I can pose the question I've never seen because everyone is so focused on Riker's decision. Why didn't she just spit on Chorgan?
True.
I mean,
Because writing.
She wasn't that close to him. I mean, if I were to spit right now, I might go as far as the end of my foot here, but she still had some distance on him. That'd be a hell of a loogie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the real world answer is that's not the point of the story, but in universe, she's just stupid for not doing. I mean, she could have at least attempted. I mean, what did she do? Did she like go like this? She like lunged toward him at the end, right when she was about to be killed.
Yeah, it's like she barely got any motion at all.
Why would she even like make a plan to have a projectile? Like, why would she make the plan to where she has to go up and touch him? I mean, it's whatever.
She was just gonna hand him that drink,
Like, those are those plot things I don't really care about. Like, I'd be more interested in the Riker question. Like, should he have subdued her, tackled her, tried to stun her more instead of? I mean, even I was a little bit shocked. Like, oh, he tried stunning her twice, so he's just gonna kill her. That was a bit. It's good for his character and like the point of the story again, but like in universe, I was a little bit surprised.
Yeah, I feel like Picard was like right behind the table. I feel like he could have just stood up and just went, bam, or just little neck pinch.
Hey, Yuta.
Just,
but then he gets the.
yeah, but it was only designed for Bro's cells. So
Yeah.
they all would have been fine.
Yeah, obviously she swapped spit with Riker and he was fine. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, Riker really kills it with girls, doesn't he?
He's always killing it one way or the other.
Yeah, and he does both ways in this one. I mean, she was into him for sure. If that red alert hadn't gone off, I'm just saying, there's an alternate episode here.
To the point where he even ignored the red alert. Like, he's ignoring it, and then the ship started shaking. And then he's like, oh, shit, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Kind of odd they gave away the villain so early in the episode. The story works, it's just odd.
Thank you.
There you go. We're done. Yeah, nailed it right on the head.
I didn't really see any necessarily predicting that we weren't going to like that. I'm still looking through, but I mean, at least someone brought it up. This one's from Alan.
Alan.
Basically a retelling of That Which Survives from TOS. A pretty girl that can only kill by touching a certain person, which anyone else could stop by just grabbing them. But Kirk and Riker eventually just phaser them instead. Roll credits. Do you remember That Which Survives? It was towards the end. It's where it's actually a Sulu episode. Sulu, Kirk, and
What season?
Chekhov. Towards the end of the third season, they go down to this planet and then that woman like keeps showing up and trying to touch Sulu to like kill him, and she's like, "You must, she's like, I'm here for you."
Yeah, yeah, it's very. Hold
And
on.
then at the end, it's like 3 of her show up and Kirk kills her. I think
Yeah,
Spock comes in at the end and hits the thing and kills her, and then like a video plays where like she was on the planet.
that's right. That's right.
I just want to say I read this take because I think That Which Survives is like a low-key, super underrated episode of TOS. I really like that one, especially being separated from it. Going back to watch TOS, that's one I would definitely want to rewatch. And it's like one of the most Sulu-centric episodes too. So,
Well, if you want us to revisit and talk about it, because I barely remembered it, so
yes. But beyond that, yeah, I agree that it's just kind of like, uh-oh, just phase her. Okay.
yeah. Okay, we're done.
Surprised the negative posts on this one. It's one of my favorites. Watched it so many times when I was younger. Well, that's why it's one of your favorites, Andy. No, I'm like not to be mean, but it's like that's why. Can we all just like
Yeah, I liked Star Wars when I was a kid.
yeah, I love Surf Ninjas. It's not a good movie. Rob Schneider on a surfboard. Come on.
I liked Jingle All the Way as a kid. I hated it as an adult.
Yeah, I watched it for the first time as an adult for a video. I thought it was okay. It's funny, but yeah, you get my point. I mean, we actually I think talked about it in that video a little bit. But yeah, you watch stuff a bunch of times as a kid. Like yeah, I was a kid. I had VHSs. I just played over and over again because I had nothing else to do.
And then you watch something after you have sex, and you're like, wait a second.
All right, let me read the rest of his take at least.
Okay.
Pathos a la Yuta. Not sure why, but Frake's delivery of that line is great, as his chemistry with the actress playing Yuta. I do agree. Great chemistry there. The ending is particularly rough for Riker, having little choice but to kill a girl he's grown to love. That's a bit strong. Grown to love. He was infatuated with her. It's a great little story with some superb performances. Varul is fab, and his scene with Wes is so much fun. I think I meant Brule.
Brutal.
Scene with Wes is so much fun. The sarcasm he displays at Wes's disdain for him, pure joy. He basically does name all the stuff I did like about the episode. It was just really weighted down by the rest
The
of
rest
it.
of it, yeah. Like any mediocre Star Trek episode, there's good stuff in there. I forgot this was a season 3 episode. Now I remember why.
Well, there you go. I think we'll probably end up forgetting about this one, and when we go to do, because I don't hate this. It's not like I have a passion. It's like we'll get to the tier list at the end of the season and be like, oh yeah, not good.
Yeah, I'm already picturing myself like, what? That? Oh, yeah. Oh, D.
These are the patron takes for episode 10, the detractor, or is it the defector?
The defector.
The defector.
Sound like me, man.
I don't know why. I just think it's the defect of the detractor. I don't know why.
Beautiful episode all around. A great example of dramatic storytelling and tension without action. And I don't want to hear shit about lack of score. Well, you're not going to hear that. Because that is a take I 100% agree with. No action, really, besides a couple phaser shots.
Yeah, towards the end, it looked like it might lead to something. I mean, the beginning, also the hook with, the ship, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, we haven't seen much physical interaction recently either. If you think
No,
about
I mean, in the last episode, there was the shootout in the...
But, I'm talking
yeah,
about,
physically. There's just not a ton in this series so far.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't need a,
I mean, we got TOS for certain things,
Right.
I rewatched this one a month or so ago and had a moment of confusion seeing Patrick Stewart firstly as a holographic Shakespeare character, followed by the sudden cut to Picard applauding the performance. Yeah, it's just I need to know, did Patrick Stewart volunteer, let me do this part, don't, instead of hire, or did the show come to him and, tell him to do it? I hope it was him that wanted to do it.
I would love to know the behind the scenes on that. Good catch, because I definitely wouldn't have caught it. I'm not the best at catching stuff like that.
It was the voice that I caught first, because he tried to do an accent, but it was you could tell, and I'm like, is that him? And then I saw Picard, and I'm like, okay, maybe I heard him, but then it showed the guy's face, and I'm like, that's Patrick Stewart.
Good catch.
He also says the get out strategy of Picard having called the Klingons to come to the rescue is perfectly orchestrated. I like the way that it is set up in a brief moment between Worf and Picard early in the episode. Yeah, so maybe it was brief enough for others that didn't catch it.
Very brief. This was the very first episode to air in the 90s. And my personal favorite episode of TNG. Wow.
Ooh, all right, let's give it up. I love discovering people's favorites.
Yeah, I find it has an almost perfect blend of suspense, political intrigue, action, and a character drama, as well as compelling performances from Stewart and Sloyan, and one of Ron Jones' best soundtracks. Jirok's story is tragic, but it does offer hope that peace with the Romulans isn't impossible.
This was the first Star Trek episode then to air in the 90s. You know what that means? We are officially done with yet another decade of Star Trek. The 80s are complete.
Whoa! Holy shit! Oh,
Watching in pure release order means that there's nothing left.
we've done 3 decades of Star Trek.
Yeah, 3 decades of Star Trek. To be fair, there was almost none in the 70s, but there's the animated series and then motion picture in 79. But we did it, and now the 80s, and now it's just, we've done 3 decades, 3 decades left if you don't count the 2020s, which I know Star Trek is still going on right now, but it's not a complete decade.
Is it really?
We'll find
Is it
out.
really?
We'll find out. But obviously, these last 3 decades are going to take a lot longer than the first 3 decades did. But
Yes, for sure.
I love this episode. I love the Romulans, and any chance we get to explore them or have them involved. This one is a touch of mystery, motives, and who is playing who. The Romulans can always be counted on to be behind something, absolutely. The Romulan Warbird is a formidable ship and a good match for the Enterprise. Picard is slow to commit to battle, which in this case is great because it is all a trap. Great stuff. 100% agree.
Mm-hmm. What a solid episode. I predict this is going to be well loved by you gents. Ron Moore is really stretching those creative legs in this episode and growing the expansive range of Star Trek. Absolutely, yeah. Ron Moore, just, fire pen.
Great episode. Easy prediction. Josh and Alex will love it. Well, I love the confidence, and you are correct. So it was an easy prediction.
Correct. Tomalak the goat returns. Yes, he does. Hell yeah.
One of the greatest twists ever. You just know the Klingons were itching to press that fire disruptors button. I don't know how they controlled themselves, but they did. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
They've come a long way. They've come a long way since, they're bonding with the Federation.
I'm just imagining them in their ships like, come on.
Come on, do it. Do it. It's some great writing how early on Picard, Riker, Data all agreed that this smells like a Romulan trap. But then the trap ends up being so well laid that they still have to jump into it. Makes the villains look like evil geniuses without having the heroes come off as idiots. Yes. Great point. I have nothing to add to that. That's exactly. Where the villains are super smart, but our heroes aren't dumb. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you love to see it because that's kind of hard to do. Also, it reminds me, I loved the line where he says, what does he say? Oh, he says, a butcher in one world, a hero in another. Maybe I'm neither. That was a great line. Jarok says.
Yeah.
Picard gets to be awesome in this episode. Shall we die together? One of my favorite Picard moments so far. Me too.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
He says, this episode does a good job of showing how a society built on secrets and lies can destroy a man of conscience. And that's exactly what it does. I mean, we didn't even talk about it, ends his own life.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode, sadly. And then the part with the message for his family and Picard's whole thing about we can't give it to him now.
We didn't even talk about the ending, it's like, well, maybe one day we can. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Well, hello. I bet you guys will like this because you are lockstep with the crew on what they know and don't know. Your guess is as good as theirs. I foresee you will also like the references to The Enemy, finally starting with the Shakespeare drama class in this episode's hook, as well as the concerts in the previous episodes make this crew my favorite nerds-warriors ever.
Agree, and you were correct on all of those guesses. So welcome to the Patreon, the Ted Berg, and appreciate your take.
Welcome.
Good God, I cannot wait for the pop at the end of this one.
We literally clapped, so.
Just us.
Yeah. Or just.
Our fault. As much as I would love to do that, no, it was too good.
Love it. It's awesome. Excellent. Question prediction. Do you think Season 3 is peaked with this one?
That's tough.
That's very tough.
I'm going to hope not.
I'm gonna say there's some on par ones coming up.
That's a good way to put it, yeah, because it's like, I'm not going to say I hope there's ones better than this because I just don't know how it could be, but I hope there's ones on this level. Because as much as I love this one, we've liked some episodes so far, but like, I hope this isn't the one. You know what I mean? I hope it's as good. I hope it's as filled with good ones as this.
I want to say this is my favorite so far, baby. I'm scrolling through the ones we've seen. I love The Enemy. I love the bonding.
Bonding too.
That's tough. It's tough.
I'm going to be optimistic and predict this isn't my favorite episode of the season, and that's yet to come. That's my optimistic prediction. But we'll see. A powerful, heartbreaking, unforgettable episode. P.S. We have not yet seen any of the 6 best episodes of Season 3.
What? What? Oh my God! I can't even imagine what's coming.
Alex and Josh, fill the target audience.
More security, transporter room 4.
Oh!
We haven't had a fight in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Chief.
We know Cliff Bowl can direct action.
Oh, there you go, Worf. Come on, Worf. Should have sent Data.
Yeah, they never think of that. I'm glad that the show doesn't really take a side. It kind of just shows you both sides and lets you think what you want. And I think that's the best thing any media can do. Because as soon as the media, whatever you're watching or playing or listening to, whatever it is, once that takes the side, then it becomes, oh, do I agree with this or not? But like this episode just let you decide what to think of it.
Yeah, because sometimes, definitely media
Today,
yeah, can definitely bad talk down to you. But I think this is like a good reminder of what TV can do.
Alex and Josh, best friends, they now stand.
As much as I would love to do that, no, it was too good.